All right, guys, we're gonna be playing around with the SCAR 20S today.
3.3.
Going right in our
Left.
It is favoring.
Impact.
It is favoring the left, isn't it?
Yeah, that wind's kind of coming in at a little bit of an angle. Oh, just
FM produces. They really all are pretty similar, okay? Some of the departures that it takes from the 17S, which is the 16.5-inch variant of the what they call the SCAR Heavy. I guess this would be the SCAR Heavier, all right, if you want to call it that. It does actually use a slightly heavier profile barrel. It is a free-floated 20-inch barrel with a 1 in 12 twist. It is chrome lined and cold hammer forged. So the barrels in these are excellent. It's threaded 5/8 by 24. In this case, we are wearing a AAC SDN6 with a 51 tooth adapter. A little bit older suppressor, but does the job pretty well. It's a little pitchy at the ear. I think Chad was saying this thing was coming in at around 141 at the ear, so it is a little pitchy at the ear. It is a piston operated system. We're using the suppressor setting. Now, the big difference between the 17S and the 20S is that when you look at the gas system on the 17S, it actually says, you know, suppressor. When you go to turn it, it has like an S setting for suppressor. On this one, it's not marked as such, but I have it in the same setting that is considered the suppressor setting on the 17S. And when you look at the literature that's included with the 20S, it doesn't say anything about suppressor settings. So I'm assuming it's a suppressor setting. It is not gassy at all. It is not gassing me back in the face or anything with it. So I'm assuming that's turning down the gas a bit. The gas plug does come out for maintenance and obviously all that sort of stuff. It is a long stroke piston operated system with a very heavy, massive bolt. That's one of the things about the SCAR that's a pretty distinctive feature is the very large bolt carrier. It's very massive, and the mass, you know, has to do with the way that it cycles and everything like that. The handle is reciprocating. Some folks have had a few minor issues with charging handles snapping on SCARs, so just keep that in mind. If you are going to buy a SCAR, I'd strongly recommend keeping an extra charging handle laying around, maybe an extra firing pin and extractor can't be a bad thing. Parts availability is a little spotty. That's one of my minor disappointments with the SCAR system. The parts are out there, but they can be kind of hard to get, and they are very expensive. I mean, a firing pin for a SCAR is going to cost you about $40 versus an AR can, you know, be as cheap as what, $9 or $10 or $5 if you buy a cheap firing pin. So everything on this gun is more expensive than other guns that are out there. The guns themselves are pretty pricey. However, they are very high quality units. The upper assembly is this big extrusion of aluminum. That's one area on this rifle that you start to get away from the 17S. The 17S has a very shorter receiver section, which cuts down on the weight and everything like that. Now, there's companies that make a wide variety, get out of here, Wasp, a wide variety of different extended rail sections for the 17S that you can get. On this one, they go full Monty and they go ahead and bring that rail section all the way out in one monolithic, dare I say, piece of alloy that's just a big extrusion. The gun, despite being a 20-inch with a relatively heavy barrel, and this one doesn't have the folding stock mechanism, it does use an aluminum stock, it is a little bit on the heavier side. But for a gun with its features and what it does, it's an exceptional shooting rifle. You've got sling points on the left side of the gun. Right here, we've just got, you know, Magpul sling with the little clips, whatever. Okay, and those lock into place. So you got your sling points up on the front and rear. You've got Picatinny rail all the way around this bad boy, left and right, top and bottom, full pick rail. So if you want to run your thermal clip-ons, night vision clip-ons, this gun will do it. It ships with 10-round magazines, okay? It also takes 20-round SCAR magazines as well. So don't think that just because they show it with a 10-round mag, that it doesn't accept the 20-round SCAR mags. I mean, you can use 50-round drums in this gun as well, no problem. And I think it's safe to say with a rifle like this, even in a semi-automatic category, these rifles really, in my opinion, can really be treated like precision rifles. I mean, this is not a rifle you would take out and just dump mag after mag after mag and like machine gun it or, you know, go crazy with it. This is a precision rifle that's capable of some pretty decent feats of accuracy. In fact, what I was getting on that plate earlier at 5 wasn't even indicative of what we normally get out of this rifle. We were out shooting it the other day and I was pulling headshots off on the silhouette, no problem. We might try that here in a minute. But definitely not bad. We're running 175 grain match today. This is a federal gold medal match. I've run 168s and 175s. Both my SCAR 17S and my 20S both stabilized 175 grain gold medal match just fine. So getting back to the rear, back to the rifle itself, you do have an ambi magazine release. Okay, this is your buffer here. That's your port buffer. Okay, when you have an ejection and everything. You got a Hogue grip that came standard on this rifle. I didn't upgrade this. It came with it. It also has a super SCAR trigger standard. Okay, so they use the Geissele SCAR trigger as a standard feature on this particular rifle. They get away from the folding stock mechanism on this one. The prototype at SHOT Show that I looked at seems like it had a folding mechanism. I'd have to refer back to that video. It's been a minute, but this one uses a fixed stock. You've got adjustable length of pull, okay? Various positions there, so you can adjust your length of pull. And you've also got adjustable comb height, okay? So that really gives you more of a target precision. Now, because this optic is sitting so low, we have the cheek piece kind of like all the way in the bottom position. But if you're running a slightly higher mount, or say you're running clip-ons that require maybe a little bit higher you know, height on the scope, you can bring that up, okay? There's also a Picatinny section that's on the rear of the stock here on the bottom. So if you want to run like a monopod or something like that, that's what that's intended for. A lot of folks ask, why is that there? That's for a monopod.